Here's some exciting news. A new branch of UX is emerging. I call it experience strategy. Experience strategy is an executive level approach to UX. Experience strategists integrate their organization's critical objectives with the delivery of great user experiences. I'm excited to see this new branch coming into its own. I think we're long overdue for a significant change like this, and it's encouraging to meet new experience strategists. I've met many over the last few years, and it's making me very optimistic for the future of UX. Now, experienced strategists make it their job to answer the question, how would improving the lives of our customers, users, and employees advance the achievement of my organization's top priorities and goals? I don't see anyone else asking or answering this question despite its importance. UX folks are precisely the right people to answer it. Since the dawn of UX, many folks have had the ear of senior executives, but now it's different. Today's experience strategists make a direct connection between increased user value and the top business objectives. Their work attracts the attention of senior stakeholders and executives. The executives see how they boost their own success by making serious investments in better UX, which in turn strengthens the organization's industry leading position by delivering innovative products and services. Here's the thing. You can look all you want, but you won't find anyone with the title of experienced strategist. That's just a label that I made up to describe the people currently doing this work. Yet folks definitely exist. They often still go by the conventional UX titles of senior designer or researcher, or maybe they have a title that say they are a lead, staff, or principal. Some titles may even include the word strategist. Yet whatever they call themselves, they're doing experience strategy work. Unlike others in the UX field, this work is at the highest levels of the organization on the most critical priorities. The experienced strategists I have met work collaboratively, orchestrating their entire organization to make significant improvements in the lives of users, customers, and the associates who support them. This work differs from that of other branches of UX, such as designers, researchers, and content specialists, which usually focus on incremental improvements to the organization's products and services. It's a subtle yet meaningful difference. Most UX folks let others, like their product managers or engineering leads, decide what they should work on next. In contrast, experienced strategists choose their next project based on the organization's highest priorities. Their contributions map directly to what the executives are most interested in. I'm seeing that this independence promotes experienced strategists as inspirational leaders, not managers. Those are something different. No, instead, these are folks actively leading their coworkers and senior stakeholders across the organization. They've successfully made the case that UX changes to product offerings will substantially improve people's lives and drive value back to their organization. These improvements inspire their executives, who then pay more attention to the value they bring. The experienced strategists I have met use a different set of methods, skills, and philosophies than those in more tactical branches of UX research, interaction design, UX writing, and information architecture. These experienced strategists are using advanced practices specifically tailored for their daily work. For example, unlike other UX folks, I've observed that experienced strategists don't focus on deliverables for current projects, best practices, or design processes that yield only minor incremental product enhancements. Instead, they focus their efforts on significant outcomes for the organization as a whole, which lead to major improvements in customers' and users' lives by delivering vastly improved user experiences. Another thing I've noticed is that experienced strategists act proactively. They don't wait to be asked or request permission to do their best work. Instead, they collaborate directly with the organization's senior management to identify the most critical priorities, then dive right in to pinpoint how improved UX will advance their organization's success. The strategist then provides each team with thoroughly researched guidance as they execute on those priorities, giving the organization a considerable strategic advantage in the marketplace when the work finally ships. Another difference that I've seen is that experienced strategists don't use UX research the same way other UX folks do. They aren't validating whether a product might be useful or minimally usable. Instead, they take a strategic approach to research that truly understands what customers and users need, identifying opportunities that no one, including their competitors, currently deliver. Their goal is to make their organization the world's foremost experts in who their users are, what those users need, and what their current experiences are. Nobody should have more expertise about their customers and users than the organization's decision makers. This expertise drives true innovation throughout the organization. Experience strategy is definitely a growing branch of UX. There are more strategists today in the workforce than we've ever seen before. And it seems we will see even more folks moving into this emerging role in the coming year. That's very encouraging. The journey to becoming an experienced strategist is fascinating. None of the strategists that I've met so far was asked to take on this role. None of them were promoted into it or explicitly hired to do this. Instead, every one of them just started doing it. They saw an opportunity and stepped up to do the work, all on their own without any formal invitation or promotion. This situation harkens back to when the UX field first started. Nobody invited the first UXers to do their work. There weren't any UX positions that you could get hired for. The early UX folks were engineers and writers who just stepped into the role and started doing the work. Companies didn't know they needed UX work, but quickly learned how valuable it was. That seems to be where we are today with experienced strategists. Organizations don't know they need an experienced strategist, yet are excited when people step into the role because they immediately see the value. This situation is encouraging news for our field. Any one of us can become an experienced strategist in their own organization. There doesn't seem to be any prerequisites to becoming an experienced strategist. You have to be intelligent and curious, but that describes most UX folks. There are a bunch of new skills to learn. However, I've trained quite a few people over the past year, and I've found that most people have no trouble mastering the necessary skills with some practice. I've also noticed the most successful folks exhibit a high level of confidence and empowerment. Again, these traits emerge with a bit of coaching and practice. I think this will be a big year for this emerging branch of experience strategy and for the UX field as a whole. We need more senior leaders in our UX work, and experience strategy seems like a sound approach to getting them. That so many folks are already having success doing just that bodes very well for our field, making me very optimistic for what's coming. Are you excited about this emerging role of experienced strategist? Are you thinking that you might like to explore what it would take to become one? I've set aside time in my calendar to talk with folks just like you about what a future journey to becoming an experienced strategist might be like. If you'd like, you and I could discuss where your career and work are at and together brainstorm what the right path for you might be like. I do teach some courses that equip students with the skills that experienced strategists find valuable. That's how I met all the folks who have made this journey so far. However, that's not the point of what we talk about when you and I meet. Instead, we will dive into your situation to explore all the options. If the courses make sense, we can talk about them, but if not, we can talk about whatever you'd like instead. If you're interested in spending 30 minutes with me to talk this through at no cost other than your time, pop me a message on LinkedIn, Blue Sky, or in our Leaders of Awesomeness community, which you can find at uxleaders.cc. I'll send you a link to find a time on my calendar, and then we'll hop on a call. I look forward to talking to you and brainstorming on how you might become an experienced strategist inside your organization.